lingua gloriosa, corporis mysterium, sanguinis quae pretiosi, quem in mundi pretium, lingua gloriosa, corporis mysterium, sanguinis quae pretiosi.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Christianity Reloaded. The thing is that most people will not even know when the Protestantism died. When the Protestantism as a religion or as a Christian religion died, people will not know. Many people will not know because we see that they keep changing their position all the time. They keep splitting. They keep splitting. They keep breaking up. Thousands of churches, different denominations. Even stuff. If you ask them their core belief, like some of them that believe in sola scriptura, Bible alone, they're gonna they start to tap dance. They don't want you to nail them in one definition. They're gonna say you are just still manning their position that you don't you are strong manning their position that you don't even understand what they mean when they say Bible alone is the only is the only stuff that we need in Christianity. But the thing is that it's not the only stuff they talk about. Let's talk about faith alone. You know what I mean? And if you try to talk to them about faith alone, they're gonna say you don't understand what they mean by faith. They start to define faith alone, and it's all based on the person you are talking to. The Protestant that you're talking to at the moment, he will give you his own definition of what faith means. Faith alone means. You know what I mean? And you get to another Protestant, they give you another different description of what faith alone means. And this is what we are facing. You know what I mean? And if you ask some of them, even did they hold anything that their founder Martin Luther, anything that Martin Luther said, some of them don't even know. They don't even know who Martin Luther is, and even some of them will deny that they are not even Protestant. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even know. Many people don't even know when some of them, when Protestantism died, which is gonna die one day because it's man-made or is already on its dying time. You know what I mean? Because they keep changing. They keep changing. They keep changing. They keep changing. Some of them bring in different doctrines. And the one sign or one thing to know about Protestantism, like there's some people think like sometimes they don't agree in one thing. Yes, they really agree in one thing, and that's one thing. They agree in two things. The two things is they strongly agree. Even they keep. If you talk to some Protestant, they say, "Oh, I don't agree." They agree in personal interpretation of the Bible. You interpret the Bible based on how you understand it. And if your friend didn't understand it the way you understand it, your friend, is wrong. And if there's any disagreement, go and start your own church. Go and start your organization. And and another point of the agreement is that the Bible has 66 books. All of them agree. All the Protestants. I don't want to say like cult, like the Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't want to include them in this Protestantism, but they all spring from Protestantism. You know what I mean? They agree in these 2 points. The Bible is 66 books, and they ask them how they arrive to 66 books. They don't know. I was talking to one last time. We are going back and forth about the Bible because this is if you wanna if you want to get to the core of the matter, is you have to talk about the Bible because they're all about Bible chapters and verses of the Bible. They want you to show them in the passage. Where is this in the Bible? So that's why it's always good to challenge them on the Bible. How do you know that the Bible is Word of God? So I was going back and forth with one of them, and he was telling me that I said to him, "How do you arrive at 66 books of the Bible?" You can't tell me because some of them will say that is by feelings. You can't get to you can't use feelings and arrive at 66. It doesn't happen. There's something that you have to go and some rational stuff you have to appeal to show that this is where you get the 66 books of the Bible. You know what I mean? But this guy said to me, I think he said, is Jerome, St. Jerome, one of the church fathers. He said that that's where he got the 66 books. He said, oh, it's 66 books. He named it as he named the 66 books, and we followed because he was one of the early Christian. You know what I mean? But now he's appealing he is appealing to St. Jerome. And, I asked him, why do you appeal to St. Jerome? You know what I mean? Where do you get the idea that you should appeal to Jerome to prove your 66 book of the Bible? Because he can't see, there's no way in the Bible, this Bible says, appeal to Jerome, St. Jerome, one of the church fathers, for you to know what 66 book of the Bible is. And most times they don't have answer for this, because sometimes nobody have challenged them on this Bible, because they talk about Bible and they don't even read the history of the Bible. How they get this book, they are so fond of. They love the Bible. I'm not taking it away, and the Bible is Word of God. But you have to tell me how you know that it's Word of God, because you don't know that the Bible is Word of God just by reading it. Somebody have to tell you that the Bible is Word of God. Not only that, somebody have to tell you, an authority outside the Bible have to even canonize the Bible. Bible cannot canonize itself. You know what I mean? Because God, God didn't just throw away books or Bible from heaven and say, read this book and you understand. And actually, any God that depends on a book to prove himself is really a weak God. Is very weak God. That's the problem I have with the Muslims as well. It's all about their Quran. God is book. God is just talking to you, not even proving himself. No miracle, in Islam. But we're not talking about Islam today. We're talking about Protestantism why people might not even know when it's gone, when it's no longer in this earth, because they keep changing their position all the time. Peace.